Yeah.
Welcome back into BBN Unfiltered, where Kentucky fans tell it like it is. Guys, were we expecting that? Was anybody expecting that? Where did that team come from? Where did that team come from? I don't know. Maybe they watched or listened to our show the last couple days and some fire burned in their bellies and came up through their chest and decided to play some ball. Why can't we start like that against every team? Should be a non-negotiable, right? They've shown that they can do it. So my question is, can it stay consistent? That's what you call competing. I'm talking overall competing with a purpose, with a chip on your shoulder. I called it, man. Arkansas can't shoot threes. If there's gonna be the game plan is gonna be, hey, protect the paint. They can't shoot unless they luck in, 8 or 9 threes. They were 3 for 14 from three. Typical Cal team that can't shoot for nothing. We executed a game plan, and I've said this multiple times. Our true worst nightmare is a team that's fast paced, that lives and die by the three, that's very complex when it comes to an offensive scheme. We all know what Cal does. He relies on the dribble drive. He relies on his playmakers to get downhill, either finish or throw the lob. And we defended well enough to stop him. And yeah, it got chippy. And I loved it. I freaking loved it. That's what we want to see, right? Ortega came out and he decided, I'll be a leader tonight, right? You can't tell me that there's not a difference in the demeanor, the overall demeanor between Ortega tonight and then Ortega 2 nights ago, 3 nights ago, whatever, against Vanderbilt. Complete night and day difference between the mindset, the overall demeanor, the look on his face. You could just tell he wanted to prove a point. And it's like, can we come out like that every game? I mean, we're begging for it, you guys. We've been begging for it. I want to see the consistency. You've shown proof that you can do it. So why don't we do it every game? And listen, they they just showed a side of themselves tonight that we haven't seen, at least to that level, maybe even all season. Maybe even all season. Ortega came out, I mean, he had like 22, eight rebounds, 3 or 4 assists. Ortega came out ready to ball. Colin Chandler came out aggressive. He looked like he was coming off those handoffs with a purpose, like he wanted to go score the ball. Same with Trent. Malachi played well. Malachi handled the bigs with Arkansas, the bigs on Arkansas's team very, very well, and I was really impressed with that. We don't win that game without Malachi, but the head of the horse is Otega Oweh, and he came out just with the grit in his face, saying, "I ain't losing this game." Well, let's talk a little bit about the chippiness of this game, right? And that's what I started to get a little bit heated. And I was having a buddy of mine over and his family. There were bits and pieces that I kind of missed, just like in the mix of like talking to them, and entertaining a little bit. But I saw that first technical foul. Who was it? Was it on BG? You know, there was some scuffle on the I guess right there in the bench, in front of the bench, in front of Arkansas's um, sideline. And BG, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong. What those tags? I don't think that were deserved at all, at all. They didn't do anything. Like if you're in a scuffle, like you have to step over, around, or backwards. But based on like wherever your momentum is going, like you have to like move somehow. Like and then in the Arkansas dude, the Arkansas guys they showed their true colors and their lack of maturity, their lack of composure, I think pretty much from that point on. And they were just looking for a fight for whatever reason. And you saw that I can't remember what his name was, but the dude who kind of turned Trent Noah around and kind of flung me backwards. And credit to Trent Noah for not going back at him and just going at his throat, because I probably would have. Dude comes at me like that, I'm trying to take him back to the ground. Dude, that's it's just unnecessary. But I have the belief that that chippiness, that aggressiveness that Arkansas, kind of played with, got our guys, took them from level 1 to level 2 to boom. Okay, all right, okay, I see how it's gonna go. Well, let's see what's gonna happen then. Come at me, right? Come at me, and that's that. I loved it. I love to see it. I love to watch it. Ortega set the tone. Chandler played aggressive. The technical fouls, which is even the one that they had that they called on Pope. Like, it was like there was just like a 5 minute span of like, dude, what are the refs doing? What are you watching the game, or are we just trying to call text for no reason? And they even called one in Arkansas that I thought maybe wasn't even warranted at all. It's like, man, let the guys play. Let the guys play ball, man. Let them play. It was a good show. And listen, you guys know that I've been hard on them. I've been hard on the guys. I've been hard on Pope. But shouldn't we be? Should we not call them out when we see the inability to come out and live up to your standard, to compete, to show that guy standing across from me will not outcompete me? And you guys have heard me say this so many times again. And when we show that fight, we do win. Hey, shocker. When we actually play with that aggressiveness, with that dog, with that chip on their shoulder, they do win the game, which is crazy. And listen, I don't think Arkansas isn't overly talented. Acuff played well. He didn't shoot well. If he could shoot threes, it would have been a different game. If Arkansas had a true 3-point shooter that was dangerous in any form, it would have been a different game. And that's why I did think that if we were gonna have a chance, it was gonna be they make 2 or 3 or 4 threes like they normally do. We keep them out of the paint enough to where we can score and give ourselves a shot to win the game. And that's exactly what we did. And the defensive rotations that a lot of us questioned during the Vanderbilt game, a lot of that stuff didn't even have to come into play because Arkansas just plays such a different style. It's a typical Cal offense where it's a dribble drive, get downhill, go lob, finish, etc. So, that team that we saw tonight is a team that can make some noise in the postseason. That's a team that can make some noise in the postseason. My question is, can you consistently be that team for the rest of the season, going into SEC postseason, SEC tournament, going into the NCAA tournament if we make it, right? Because if you are that team, you can make some noise. I truly believe that. And I know I've been hard on these guys, but I think it's been deserved and maybe even set a fire on a lot of them. And good for it. Good for it. To my pig suey, to my Arkansas trolls that wanted to bash the BBN fan page, and I just hopped on a Arkansas preview yesterday afternoon, like around lunchtime, and they were just talking kind of like what they expected and Cal going against Pope and Cal taking Kentucky game personally, and I was agreeing with a lot of what they were saying. And as soon as I typed in anything about Kentucky and what I thought, even if I was agreeing with them, shut up BBN, shut up BBN Unfiltered is trash. He knows nothing about basketball. And they just kept on going. And I thought it was hilarious, to be honest with you. And I even called him out. I said, "Hey, all right, if you're that tough, then come on my show and we'll go 1-on-1. We'll see who actually knows something." And obviously nobody even came on. But I want to call them out. I want to call out that Arkansas show. I wish I knew the damn name of it. I don't. It was hilarious. And Arkansas thinks that they have some sort of, I don't know, like savior or some sort of like chip over Kentucky that like they've just taken from us. And the reality is, and there was a graphic that was put up this morning, I believe, of Mark Pope's record since his started at Kentucky and then Cal's record. And it was the same exact record, which again, it's a little bit different of a situation. And there's different expectations, there's different cultures. I'm not comparing it, but the record was the same, and it was funny to me that it was just like Arkansas fans thought that they just first off, they thought they were gonna run us, and I thought they were gonna run us. And if we came out like we played against Vanderbilt, they were gonna run us. We showed another side of ourselves that has only shown up once or twice this year. Let's figure out how to be that same team again in our next game next week, the following game after that. You gotta be consistent. It's a game of consistency. It's a game of flow. It's a game of discipline. And if you're not disciplined, and undisciplined teams play one game, get their hopes up, get their confidence sky high, and come out the next game. Oh, okay, I'm just gonna come out and we're just gonna kick their tail. No, That's not how it works. You got to lock in and have that same mentality, no matter who you're playing. I want to see that. Show me that you can be that, and then I will mouth the words, all right, we can make a postseason run. Until then, I'm still going to question it. With all that being said, I'm very satisfied with that win. It was fun beating Cal. It was fun, especially after what they did to us last year. And dude, that Brazil dude and those guys are a bunch of thugs. They were too worried about just coming after our guys, opposed to actually competing and being beneficial to their team's overall winning effort, I think. Didn't seem to me like they were all in it for the right reasons. But, Pig Suey, go home. If you were one of the people that hopped on one of my shows within this last week and wanted to troll, wanted to talk about how bad y'all were going to beat us, get out of here. Get out of here. Go call them for pigs somewhere else. It's funny. It's funny. We can have fun with it. But, again, I didn't expect that. I truly did not expect it. It was impressive. Coach Cal was being Cal. Did sh- his Pope's aggressiveness and his frustration and it didn't look forced. It looked like it was natural. It looked like it was a true emotion whenever he did get the technical, which it's good. Good tech. Good tech. I would have gotten 3 techs. I would have gotten thrown out of that game for me, which is probably why I'm not coaching, but it is what it is. You know, Cullen Chandler played well. Malachi played well. Otega was the dog that we needed from Otega. And it was just a collective effort, and that they just seemed like they were in sync, which was not what we saw against Vanderbilt. Vandy, Arkansas, polar opposite. Kentucky basketball, Otega, Malachi, Colin, Denzel. Show me that you can do that every single game. And if y'all can do that, you can make some noise. And I'll vouch for you. I'll push it too. If you can do that every game, you can make some noise. Let's do it. Let's do it. That's the whole point why we're even playing the freaking game, right? That's the whole point why we're even putting the jersey on. Every day we come out and step on the court. Show me that you can do it. Great win. Phenomenal win. One of the most satisfying wins that I've witnessed in a while, probably since even like the Duke game last year, at the beginning of last year, or even like the Illinois game that we lost, that we won in the tournament last year to get to the Sweet 16. Outside of those two, this is probably the most satisfying win I've seen in the Pope era. Show me you can keep it rolling. I think a lot of BBN would agree with that. I really do. I don't want to talk negative about Kentucky. I don't want to talk negative about Pope and the players. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Go Cats.